This is Vikings United, your ultimate destination for everything Minnesota Vikings. Bringing together the most passionate fans, insightful analysts, and dynamic creators from across Skol Nation. Get ready for deep dives, spirited debates, and exclusive insights from Coach Cody. We're celebrating our community, honoring our heroes, and fueling your fandom with Pillars of Valor coffee. This is more than a show. It's a movement. This is Vikings United.
Handy.
Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. I'm representing Skol, the gang, you know the name. It's a Minnesota thing. Put that on the purple blood that's running through these golden veins. Hail, sleet, snow, or rain, regardless, we gon' go to games. $1 billion stadium on Sundays, they don't close the bank. Fail rarely, get your tail buried. Did this JJ to JJ on Hail Marys. I'm like Aaron Jones, I see the fail clearly. Gain 150 yards off of 12 carries. And 2 tugs, that's how you crack a can of ice cold whoop ass on the Packers fan. Downtown Minneapolis, we pack the stands and put our hands above our heads when we clap our hands. That's how we clap our hands, we put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. Now clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. That's how we clap our hands, we put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. I said clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. If you from Minnesota, let me know. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota notice. I'm known to Skol and then blow the coldest and Skol until I got scoliosis. So when we Skol, we so ferocious. So just way before we can forward the dopest. We showed you who the purple and the gold is. If you from Minnesota, let me know. Right now. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota. And gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol.
Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network. I am Bubba Starts, your host. That was Purple and Gold, our theme song, the best theme song in Vikingsdom by far. Our guy Prince Walker and Chris Clay. Man, that song just gets me fired up.
Every time. I'm still waiting for the link to be sent to me, so we'll get it. It's got to be my ringtone.
I was just saying that to my son that it's got to be my ringtone too. So, well, yeah.
Well, go find it on iTunes or something. Prince, help us out here, brother.
Yep.
Boys, how we doing tonight? Coach Cody, Big B, with me as always. We got some very special guests coming on the show later tonight as well, but I'm going to keep that a secret for now. Coach, got that haircut. You looking sexy as fuck.
Appreciate it.
When did he find
Had
time to do that?
When he was getting his windshield fixed.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, no, it was time for a change. Had to get a cut and look a bit more professional, and not as homeless. And I don't know. It was honestly, it was a struggle. Just to fit it in my time schedule. I ended up being about 2 minutes late to work, but it was all good. It had to happen.
And that'll just get you on some free overtime. It's all good.
Right.
B, how you doing, man? We had an exciting weekend of football last weekend. I know we're going to talk all about it. Did you do anything special, or did you just get frozen in the house?
Yeah, get frozen. Now worked, caught some of the games at work, at home. God, what a difference that Broncos Patriots game was towards the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter. Clear skies, or some snow, and then you blink and there's a blizzard happening and stuff like that. So definitely exciting football, coaching, signings, players, doing their thing. Cedar Sanders somehow became a Pro Bowler before me, Bubba, and Cody did. So I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
I know how it happened before me and you, B, but before Cody, that's unreal.
I could sling it around a little bit, maybe not like I used to in high school, but yeah, definitely. It was shocking when I saw the news. So.
Yeah, it was crazy, that Broncos Patriots game, that ending, just with the weather. That's what I've dreamed about. I can't wait. It's going to happen. Oh, man. Just coaching on that sideline during the snowstorm, another better.
Yeah, the action on the field, too. I mean, a lot closer than probably a lot of people were thinking it was going to be. The Broncos damn near pulled it off with a backup QB who's made, like 4 starts in his career or something? Was that what it was?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 4 starts.
That's wild, man. Like your 5th start in the NFL is in a packed stadium in mid-January.
He handled it well, though, decently well.
Well, you took
better than our
quarterback.
First quarter, man, you're like, dude, this kid might end up winning the game.
Yep.
We're not going to get away from mentioning Sam Darnold and the game that he had in the NFC Championship game. My goodness, a lot of tears shed in Minnesota this weekend watching that one.
Good for him. I mean, it was a good game. I'm proud of him. He's come a long ways. I mean, you got drafted by, the Jets first, and you just been moving around and finally got into the right offense last year, moved over to Seattle, again, the right offense, right players, and you do your thing. You got that monkey off your back that you can't win the big one. So props to him. Yeah, it's a little heartbreaking, but, there's a lot of fans that, think that we could have done it with them. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, that offensive line, wasn't really consistent enough. So, but, hopefully he takes it all the way and gets that MVP.
Yes, sir. I was texting with Rap today. He's going to join us a little bit later in the show, but really thrilled to have another Vikings content creator on with us. That's what Vikings United is all about. It's not just about the 3 guys that you see here every week. I mean, B has his own show as well over on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. It's about bringing creators together, talking ball, and we plan to do a lot more of that in the future too. So shout out to you, Dylan. Thanks for joining the show tonight. We appreciate you being in here. Rap will be with us towards the bottom of the hour, man. We're looking forward to getting his takes. I know he's going to have some hot Sam Darnold talk to get into, so I don't want to cover everything too much. Coach, what I would like to talk about is like the player development side of that, right? Like Sam looks like a different guy this year than he did last year playing in it. Do systems matter?
Yes, systems matter a ton. The personnel that you have surrounding him, that plays a part in it, and just the overall confidence that you have in that player. When it comes to Sam Darnold, I mean, the Viking when he was with the Vikings, yeah, we were winning games, but people weren't really believing in him. We were just waiting for that one game where he's gonna fall off, and then we were gonna just be like, okay, this is what we expected, but after that year, he comes into Seattle and they're like, "Hey, yeah, you are our guy, and we know what you can do. Now let's go do it." And they're putting him in a perfect scenarios, perfect situations, and it helps when you use your running game.
Yeah, and coming from Sam's perspective, I mean, everyone has doubted him since he came in the league, right? Everyone is always, not really there. I mean, even when he was drafted, what was it, third overall?
Yep.
That there was a lot of talk of, well, he's just, doesn't really have it. And it's been that his whole career. And even in last year, guy caught a lot of strays in that loss. And I would say, some deserved, some not so much, but you can't always throw everything on the quarterback's shoulders. And now being in a place where it's, if he makes one mistake, it doesn't feel like the sky is falling, and the coaching staff can readjust a little bit and say, okay, well, we're going to go and we're going to help you. What does that do for a player's confidence, even inside of the game while you're going?
It makes the world, makes all the difference. Just knowing that that the team and the organization has your back no matter what. If things don't go right the first time, they're gonna figure it out. They're not gonna just throw you off to the side and start fresh and find something else. They're gonna stick with you. And I just feel like he didn't really have that with us.
Yeah, and I know that you can't always see like the looks on your coach's face, maybe on the field, but they're watching TV copies of these games. He's seeing the looks on KOC's face when maybe he didn't make the right read or he didn't do it, and you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. There's talk that offers were made, to Sam that were comparable to what he took in Seattle. And it was, from what I had understood early in the season this year, was that he kind of made the choice to go to Seattle. Maybe the deal was a little bit sweeter or whatever, but he had an option to stay. It's not like they made him no offer at all. I wonder if inside of his head that he's not looking back at his relationship with the coaching staff and going, look, at the end of the day, they're putting this shit all on me if it goes wrong, and nobody's taking any accountability for their own actions. And I think you saw a lot of that from KOC even through this season, where they were constantly putting it on their young quarterback and not taking accountability until it was, week 12 and you put Brosmer out there for the debacle in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, he's put in a way better position right now, as a position just to succeed. They put pieces around him, a better offensive line. That probably was a difference maker too. Not just having that sense of, hey, I got my starting 5 linemen and they're going to be set. I don't have to worry about moving pieces every week, multiple times a week. So, I mean, that has to play a part in it. I just feel like the coaching staff in general, better over there, with certain coaches, but I mean, who knows? I'm happy for him. I mean, man, going from a high draft pick, would you say third round or third overall? Yeah. Going from a high draft pick, people calling you a potential bust, this whole seeing ghost, and then you flip it around, potentially you're going to mess around and win Super Bowl and MVP over here. So, I mean, hats off to him. Doesn't give up, doesn't...
Dude's got almost 30 wins in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I saw a graphic He was the first quarterback in that draft class to make it to the Super Bowl, ahead of Lamar and Josh Allen, and there was a few others. But I'm like, damn, like, do your thing, Sam. Do your thing.
B, what's your feeling on the if Darnold was here, the Vikings would be in the Super Bowl, and I can't what's your take? I'd love to hear it.
I mean, you want to think that they could have ran it back, but the way the offensive line played this year, not protecting, watching Wentz get demolished in with the Chargers game, JJ going down with his little injuries. It's tough to say. I think we would have been a better team offensively. And maybe we sign some different players. Maybe we'd make a move here at the trade deadline or something. But again, it's that what if. I just look at it that we didn't have a solid running game. We didn't have a solid offensive line. I don't think we probably would have made the playoffs, with that one game that we kind of missed out on. I just don't know if Darnold puts up the same numbers that he did, rushing it, and stuff like that. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that will probably message me and say, "Oh, you're wrong." The Vikings would have been a better team. I mean, they were saying that at the beginning of the year when Daniel Jones was doing his thing in Indy, Sam Darnold in Seattle. And, it's just hard to say that they would have done it here because the offensive line was different. No running game. Yeah, we got, the best receiver that, barely got 1,000 yards this year. I mean, we had to push that drive. So, but, like Cody said, props to him. Hopefully he goes out, trips and wins the MVP and wins the Super Bowl. And, and we're going to be talking about it forever that, he took 14 and, 2 teams to the playoffs and, the first person to do that on 2 separate teams back-to-back years. So, good luck to him.
Crazy too. Yeah. To me, and he said all the right things. He's never tried to take any shots at the Vikings organization throughout this whole year. He's been a really class act through the entire thing, playing the best ball of his career by far. They really put it on him this year. So, like you said, wish him the best. But
he's sitting in there looking in his mirror talking trash about how the Vikings let him walk. I mean, we all do that when somebody lets us go.
I don't subscribe to the fact that they just let him walk. I think there was an offer, right?
Well,
and from reports that there was an offer and Sam chose to walk, right? So it's the other way around, that him and his agent and his team looked at the Vikings as a team, looked at the way that he was getting treated by Vikings media, possibly by the staff behind the scenes, and went, we don't think your team's going to be that good next year. And we have this Seattle team that we're looking at with a coach like McDonald and obviously, his first opening speech to his guys, before not this season, but his first, meeting with the team. And, they're going into meetings with that coach too and going, I like this guy, right? He's taking accountability and he has a vision for his team and what he's trying to build. We believe in him more than we believe in this Vikings team. That is the damning thing to me. Not that you let Sam walk, that Sam chose to walk away from you after winning 14 games, right? Like that to me is almost more damning than, a front office that didn't make a thing, because nobody was believing in Sam Darnold at the end of last year. And only because the Seahawks have done what they've done this year are we even having this conversation.
Well, exactly. And maybe Coach Cody can, kind of dive into the numbers of it, but I mean, if we offered, because it's been rumored that we offered pretty much the same thing that Seattle offered years-wise and dollars, Cody would have been a good bargaining tool to maybe, okay, let's up it a couple million or let's add another year. I mean, what goes in the mindset behind the doors when, you get that close, you want that quarterback back, but, he wants to walk. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I mean, it's tough because, it's how far you want to go, how far are you willing to push it. and how far is he willing to make you push it? So, but at least, at least throw it out there like, hey, what about, would another year help out? Would another couple million help out? Like, what would it take? Just to get an idea what that number would be, and then work from there.
Yeah.
He might tell you the honest number, he might not, but just to get an idea.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, too, is at the end of the year, a lot of fans were already talking, hey, we need to move on. Granted, the game didn't turn out the way we wanted, but they wanted a young quarterback. They wanted the Vikings to go out and draft, a quarterback that draft. They drafted McDonald or McCarthy. So the Vikings fans wanted this, and of course, it didn't turn out the way it is. So it is easy, like Bubba said, to look back and be like, yeah, we should have signed Darnold. Would have been different. Maybe another year. So it's the whole what if game. We love talking about it.
3-year deal. You're pretty much canning McCarthy behind him that entire time. And why the hell did you waste the top 10 pick on a quarterback then?
Yeah.
Right. So
it's a tough situation regardless.
Well, exactly. Yeah. You were kind of damned if you did, damned if you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because if you go out, you sign him to this deal, even if it's got a quick out, which it sounds like the deal did this year, where it had a team option on the second and third year anyway. That if it went tits up this year again, but even if you had a year like you did this year where you won, you were above 500, you just missed the playoffs, then you're almost in a worse spot because you're like, well, what do we do? Right?
Yep.
Like, do we start the young guy and we have Sam, but now we're going to owe him, 40 or $50 million. You know what I mean? Like his contract, should the team keep him in Seattle next year, is a hefty one. Right. I think it's 30+ million, on the books. Now that's probably a lot of, incentive laden and, signing bonuses and stuff to that. But it was going to be something that was going to look worse as time went on, especially if you weren't getting back to that, that second, third round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's 36 million. The cap hit, 27 of it is cash, and the rest is, like you said, is, incentives and stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah, and this team's already, the Vikings, that is already up against it with the cap. Now, I think there's a couple of simple moves they can make. Obviously, Hawkinson's, injury and then the production just completely falling off the table is going to make him, I would assume a cap casualty soon, or possibly a restructure in there possible. But they're not paying him what that contract is saying. The Hargrave, it seems like Allen's is pretty much unmovable. You don't really save much, but Hargrave's done. So there's a way to get to the cap by cutting guys, but then you can't go out and sign a bunch more either. Right. Like that's kind of, we're in the position now, and why the very poor drafting that Kwesi has done, or just young guys that you let go. What's Nishan that went over to the Bears, right, as a Pro Bowler, as an All-Pro? That was a guy that was on your practice squad. You have so many players that were on this team a year ago that have gone on to other teams. Couple of them playing in the Super Bowl right now, or were playing in the championship games last weekend, that either your coaching staff couldn't develop properly, or you just didn't, identify your talent in-house. It's just, there's a lot of malpractice right now. And I'm honestly surprised that a lot of these front office people still have jobs and are moving forward with kind of status quo. And I guess we're kind of burying the lead. Since we talked last time, guys, B-Flow got a contract extension.
I was wondering when you were going to work that in there.
I mean, there's still an out clause in there, but the spots are very, very limited. I mean, what are we down to? The Browns and the Raiders?
Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals, I believe.
Yeah, he's not leaving to any of those.
I know, and I think for him that it might have been Steelers or bust. right? And once it kind of seemed like they were leaning McCarthy or McCarthy was going all in on that one, that you signed the deal. And you had texted me, and, you know, obviously he has the out for the head coaching, but he doesn't sign that unless he's like feeling that where he wants to go isn't happening, right? And
what's the out?
That he could have took a out. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
If he was to take a job as a head coach, he can get the out. If he takes a job as a coordinator, then I think we get, you know, you would have to do a trade or something on it. So
yeah, there would be at least draft pick compensation of some sort.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't think he was ever going anywhere else to be a DC. I think he is happy here. I think that's something we alluded to a lot.
He interviewed for the Commanders DC job though, right before he signed that extension.
Well, hell yeah, you put it on him, right? You put it in a bargaining chip. It sounds like he's going to be the highest paid coordinator in the league, which I would say deservedly so. He probably saved your damn season and made it look successful because the offense was as atrocious as it was. And there's our guy. Right on, man. I'll bring him in here. We got Rap joining us, fellas.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
My brother Rap, welcome to the show, man.
Man, what's up, fellas? Appreciate y'all having me on for sure.
Man, the pleasure's all ours, dude. You've been at this for a long time, got a big platform of your own, and I appreciate you taking some time for us tonight and jumping on with us. We were just talking B-Flow's extension.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm excited. I think it was the right thing. It was the right thing to do, man. B-Flow's extension. Did they say how many years it was or no?
I was just looking. Let's see here. I know they don't normally give out signed a 3-year deal.
3 years.
So to match KOC's then.
Yeah.
So now you got everybody till 29. Everybody's on the same, on the same timeline now. And at this point, it's Super Bowl or bust, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it has to be. I don't see any other way that you can look at it, that they are saying, okay, you guys got the next 3 years to show us what the hell you got. Or I think it may be wholesale changes at that point. Kwesi might still be on the hot seat next year. If this draft is just atrocious again, you got 10 picks and you had a lot of holes, not just holes on the starting line, but you need depth on this team badly. And you've really missed or let go. We were kind of touching on the fact that you got guys that were on this team last year that are now all pros, that are playing in the Super Bowl or were playing in, the AFC, NFC championship games. We talked a lot about Sam Darnold earlier in the show, but I'd love to go ahead and start with your Sam Darnold takes, Rap, and let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, man. So I still feel like we made the right move, honestly, like in my opinion. I think, just based off of Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi committing to JJ McCarthy in the draft with a top pick, being the 10th pick in the draft. I mean, you had to do it. Nobody really saw this coming of him making the Super Bowl. And another thing too is like the Seahawks are coached better than us, in my opinion. Like their defense, they've drafted well the past couple of years. They have players flying around the field. We're not the Seahawks. So it's not like just because we would have had Sam Darnold in 2025 that we would be playing in the Super Bowl. I don't think that would be and he wouldn't have had a good season, but I don't think we would have been a Super Bowl contender with Sam Darnold this year. So to me, it's like, hey, happy for him. I think we need to just focus on who we have on the roster, and that's JJ. We gotta buckle up and go through the hard times. That's what it is.
I couldn't agree more, and I think everybody here is kind of in the same boat. I guess I kind of skipped over introductions. Now, you are a man who does not need one, but I want to introduce you to our crew. I am Bubba Starts, the host of the Scene Project Sports Network and executive producer of the Scene Projects. That's my man, Coach Cody, up there in the top corner. Cody is the former GM and coach of the St. Paul Bears. On his shirt there, he's now the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator for the Wyoming Cavalry, some indoor football league action. So he brings kind of our expert analysis into the table. And Big B, my man Brandon Herrera here, is from the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. He's got another football show that I've been a guest on as well. So yeah, man, just want to kind of introduce you to the crew. And
nice.
Yeah, man, we've
so Bubba Starks is your favorite rapper Bubba Sparks? Like, is that where
yeah,
I mean, I'm
that
guessing
guy,
that's where
man.
you got that from.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I'm like when I first seen it, I'm like, yo, there's no other reason why.
No, right. So
name,
Starks is our last name. I've been Bubba my whole life. I was actually born in Tennessee, right? So when Bubba Sparks became big, I was just like, man, that guy. So I just right, because your whole life, right? For the last 25 years of my life, it's been like Bubba Sparks. No. Funny thing is, the last time, well, not the last time I was in Tennessee, but the last time I was at the place where I was born, I was born in the town my dad went to college to, little ass town, man. We went back for his homecoming and we were partying at one of the frats, and who the hell was performing but Bubba Sparks? Like,
so is it kind of like that bit in Office Space? Is it kind of like that bit, a bit where, you're, I can't even think of the guy's name now, but, yeah.
Sorry, I'm posting a link in the Discord. See, get some people over here, man. Come tap in with us.
Oh man, yeah, we appreciate it. Well,
yeah, appreciate it, man.
Less than 100 subscribers on our network. Mostly what I do rap is music related. I'm a songwriter myself, and then this last year,
music. I did music too for a long time, man.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so songwriter, and then I just started interviewing other songwriters. Got like 500 artists that I've interviewed in the last 2 years.
Nice.
Won the Content Creator of the Year award from the Midwest Country Music Organization, based out of Minneapolis and around in the upper Midwest here. So mostly did my thing over in the music world, but I fucking love sports, man.
And
I was like, well, instead of trying to like build something into the music channel, I was just like, I'll just start another YouTube channel, right? Like, it's nothing to me. And so yeah, we started the Scene Project Sports Network, SPSN. Mostly what I was covering was like our high school football team. I was doing a coach's show with my high school football coach every week, and just hanging out, and we'd throw some highlights up on the screen and he would go through the plays. And then my relationship with Cody and with the Viking World Order crew, Darth Viking.
Yeah, shout out VWO.
Picasso. Yeah, man, love the VWO. Well, we were at the Whiteout game. We were at the Whiteout game not this season, but last season. And man, I just fell in love with everything that they're about, supporting charities, the way that they bring it to the fan, like they're fans themselves, but they become part of the show. And I was like, I want to cover you all. Like, I want to figure out something to do. And that's kind of how everything just kept on developing. And because I'm so much about like other creators, that just having a show like Vikings United, where it's not just about us and our takes, it's about bringing in the other independent creators like yourself and a lot of other people that are out there doing fan shows like this. So really grateful to have guys like you out there, because we all got something to say, right? And we all have our own platform. But it's nice to be able to come together and to kind of cross promote each other's channels. And like, we all care about one thing, and that's Vikings football. So let's get together and rap about it. No pun intended, as much as we can.
For sure. Shout out VWO. We go to their event every year too for the home opener. And then they also come to our event, because we throw an event called Skol Fest every home opener too. So we like Sir Def is somebody who we have strong connections with, that he comes to our event every year. Shout out to him, man. All of those
shout out
dudes,
to Carl, man. For sure,
matter
man. He's the man.
Right here. Matter of fact, speaking of VW, I got a patch right here that I got from Ellen. I don't know if you know Lady Legion.
Yeah. Is that one from the Ravens game this year? I got one of those too, dog.
Yeah, let's go.
Sitting over on my table, man. I was there. So that was kind of my first, we had been to the tailgate, like I said, last season for the Whiteout game, but this year, because I have Operation Combating Veteran Suicide on the marketing and PR director for, and have close ties to that, I wanted to be in Minnesota. So I actually came from Nashville. I was down there covering a big music award show called the Josie Music Awards. I flew from Nashville to Wisconsin, where I had left my truck, and drove up to Minneapolis, played a show on Saturday night, woke up on Sunday and went to the tailgate, and then ended up going into the game too for that. Nice. That was sucked. Yeah, I was in 140 watching the debacle. That was the game we had like 13 offensive penalties or something.
Yeah. Ugly.
Man, it sucked.
Well, that's what's up, man. Shout out to you, man. You moving and grooving, man. I like it. Let it hear, man. You gotta you definitely got a knowledgeable panel here, man. You know, so I'm grateful to be on here, and you know, I'm ready to talk some football, man. Let's get to it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we were just starting to kind of touch on, like I said, the B-Flow extension. You know, I kind of felt like it was going to get done. We really assumed that there was, you know, only a couple of spots, maybe the Ravens and Pittsburgh kind of being the two landing spots that made sense for him. Obviously, with the Ravens, you know, kind of coming off the board, and then the Steelers job looking like it was Leland McCarthy, and then him taking an interview with the Commanders for the DC job, it seemed inevitable that, like, if the Vikings were going to want to keep him, it's time to put your chips on the table and get it done. So glad to see they did this last week.
Yeah, man. Me too. I think it was the right thing. And then congratulations to Durante, you know, getting his opportunity. So you know, and good for him. I think like the sign for that was if B-Flow did get a job opportunity, I believe they probably were just going to elevate him. I mean, I didn't know he was so sought after, but I mean, obviously teams wanted him, and he
talking about the DB coach.
Yep.
Yeah, Durante Jones. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So shout out to him, man.
Cody, nice. Hey, man, we got your crew dipping in here too, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody. Everybody's here, man. I love it. You bring a whole damn squad with you, man.
Let's go.
I want to get Rap's opinion.
They're coming in hot.
There we go.
Let's go, man.
Let's get it.
Us three have talked about it, but I want to get Rap's opinion. Does Harrison Smith come back now that B-Flow's back?
Man, so we were talking in my Discord, you know, the Vocal Vike Discord. We were talking about maybe Harrison Smith coming back as a coach, man. Like, I think that would be interesting. You know, like honestly, I think that would be interesting. That to me, it just makes sense. I don't think he should come back as a player, if that's what you're asking. My opinion on that. I don't think he should come back as a player. I think, you know, he did hit his stride at the end of the season. I'll give him that. Like, he did seem like he was getting back. And it all goes back to that kind of mystery injury he had at the beginning, if y'all remember, where he was out for a little while. I was like, yo, what is it? You know, like what's up with him? And then when he came back, he just seemed lethargic. We still don't know the answer to it. But, you know, but then towards the end of the season, he started playing like, hold up, maybe he can't go one more year. I just think he needs to go out, you know, he needs to go out with grace, man. Just go ahead and hang the cleats up, but yet stick around the organization and maybe be still an impactful person to the team, which DB coach or whatever, wherever they can fit him in there. I mean, get him in there if he's willing to do it. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that DB coach is open now.
That's what I'm saying, Cody. Like, look, hey, Durante Jones is out of there. I mean, if you go and KOC them, they adore Harrison Smith. You know, everybody does, right? In Minnesota. I mean, he's a darling to all of us fans. So, like, it's one of those deals where, hey, that could be easy. I mean, you can't tell me he doesn't know about the game. You know, he's played it so long. You can't tell me he don't know the X's and O's and where this player should be and that player should be. So, as a defensive pass, the defensive pass coach or whatever it was, hey, look, man, I think that sounds like a fit to me. You know, so
I definitely wish the Vikings would bring that guy back that's over your right shoulder there in some capacity to help out the young receivers there.
I know Randy Moss. Yeah, that's how. So, you know, real quick, that's how I became a Vikings fan. Just so everybody knows, you know, Randy Moss is the reason I became a Vikings fan. You know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be on this show right now. So that's shout out to him. You know, love that dude. Yeah, man, shout out to him. You know, that's the reason.
No, something we talked about the last couple of weeks has been the leadership and kind of losing your CJ Ham, who'd been around for a long time, and losing Harrison off the field in a year where, regardless of if it's people on the team or it's people coming in, this team is going to look a lot different. You need a lot of younger, newer talent. This team has to get younger. And where's that leadership going to come from? And to have such a trusted voice in Harrison Smith, I think finding any way you can to keep him around the team is a smart move. And whether that's, you know, just as a special assistant to B-Flow, right? Or it's like you create a role for a guy like that if he's not going to be out there on the field. And I think that you have to do that. I really liked what they were doing at the end of the year. And I know that it was kind of because of injury, but having was it Byron Murphy they were putting back there? Or not Murphy, but once they moved Metellus, and it wasn't Metellus back there deep anymore. I liked what you were getting.
Ward.
Yeah,
Jay
Jay
Ward was
Ward.
back there as well. And I think you have some pieces to move around in the defensive backs where you can maybe move one of your cornerbacks deeper and be able to like go sign a younger cornerback. But you got holes, man. This defense is going to need a revamp. And like B-Flow, we said it from the end of the season. That was like free agent number 1. Like you got to figure that out first, or the rest of it's kind of a moot point anyway.
Right. No, for sure. I agree. 100%. 100%. Yeah, they definitely, we got some moves to be made, man. And so like another thing too, I'm curious to know about the draft, because I did the first mock of the year last night on my channel actually, and a lot of us were going towards defensive back, whether that was a corner. I mean, all of us want the boy Caleb Downs, but then we had D'Angelo Pons obviously. So I kind of want to know what you guys think about that too with the draft. Like, what position should we go? Because it seems like every year DB is always in the conversation though in the first round. And I don't know if I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger on that, but I say why not? Especially if Caleb Downs falls that far, which I doubt. But just for itch and giggles,
I mean, if Downs, Caleb Downs, if he falls down that far, I'm taking him. No hesitation. But
Yeah.
I mean, B-Flow doesn't really mess with young corners that often. He just doesn't really give them a chance. So I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to spend a first round draft pick, even a second round draft pick on a corner until I see different. But it would have to be a hell of a player.
Yeah, you got a point.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to get a DB. I mean, there's a lot of things that the Vikings could do in the first round. I'd like to see him get a stud running back if Love falls. I'd like to see that happen. I'm open to almost any position. If we can get the number 1 or number 2 ranked player, depending on whose board you're watching, I'm all for it. But yeah, I think you guys are right though that Vikings kind of stayed away from drafted DB, especially after what happened with what's that guy we drafted a couple years ago that got hurt right away?
Lewis Seen.
Yeah,
Lewis Seen.
Which you can't stay away from it because it happened to one guy. I mean, so hopefully they do their homework this year and let's hit that first home run right out of the park in the first round there.
Yeah, for sure.
I am just laughing. Andre is
Andre
the
Sutton.
absolute KOC hate club founder. I am laughing because we talked a lot about it during the season, just like his lack of accountability and the kind of, that bugged me a little bit because this was a guy who I had a lot of faith in him. Coach of the year, you saw a lot of things you liked when things were going well. And then when things were going bad, his willingness to just like throw his guys under the bus and not take any accountability for his shitty play calling, like was extremely frustrating from a fan point, right? Where it's just like, come on, man. Like you're throwing the ball 50 times with a guy who not only is a rookie playing some of his first games, but he didn't play all of last season. Not only did he not play, he didn't practice. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. So you know what, Andre? You are completely entitled to that role. I think he's going to get turned up. If this Vikings offense looks as bad as it did this year, or this next season as it did this year, he could be seeing the door, right? And it could be B-Flow's team at the end of, at the beginning of next off season. Who knows? Man, they keep the chat popping. I fucking love your fans, Rap.
Yeah. I got them in now. I shared it. I wanted that. I was just making sure it was good with you because I know if I shared it on my channel. First of all, everybody who's on my channel now, man, make sure y'all go and subscribe. I have their channels in the title, so make sure you go subscribe to these fellas, man. They're putting out great content each and every week, so make sure you're there. And you already know I'm gonna be in the chat from now on too, man, supporting you guys. So
we appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
it's just nice to connect with other people, right? Get all these takes out here. Like, this is how we talk it out. Like, I live in South Dakota, Rap, so I don't like.
I live in South Carolina.
Yeah, I thought it was
really. Wow.
Damn.
We don't have a lot of people. Like, this is how we engage with other fans, right? Like, I don't have a bar to go to that's full of fans of this team. So this is what we have. And I love it, man. I love it. How's the weather in South Carolina? Did you get some of that snow and ice this last weekend?
We didn't. It was actually really nice. We were still in the 50s. We just missed it because I live on the coast, like the southern coast.
It's 100-degree difference from what B and Cody were in last week.
Yeah. I'm close. I'm closer to like Florida. Like, I'm down at the bottom of South Carolina on the coast, like right on the ocean. So like it's like we always miss out on the cold fronts that swoop through and stuff like that. We have more tropical weather. But I looked at the news. And it says this weekend there's a possibility we might get some. So we'll see. When we get snow in my city, because I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, when we get snow where I'm at, I mean, it like shuts down, bro. You get one snowflake. That's all you need. One snowflake. I mean, it don't even got to stick. It just need to be coming down and everything closes down.
We'll send Cody down there with his truck so he'll plow you guys out.
Yeah, like, hey, we panic around here, man. If it gets 30, sometimes even here, I mean, if it's like, below 32 degrees, they close schools down and stuff.
Pop, I'm with you.
I know that B's in with you, Pop. He's right there on the Jeremiah Love train. I don't think he's gonna be there, man. Somebody's gonna take him before. Where are we picking? Is it 18?
18.
See, what do you think, Rap? And Cody, I'll kind of toss this to you too. I mean, because you're in that spot, are you entertaining offers to trade back and maybe pick up an extra second round pick, going back to 2021?
Ooh, go ahead, Cody. You go first.
Oh, I mean, if my first two options aren't available, I'm not going to reach for somebody. I'm probably going to look, if I can get a second and, some later rounds that I can package to get back up into like the third, I'll do that. If I can get a first for next year, I might even do that. I know a lot of Vikings fans would be pissed off about that. Depending on, how much that pick is actually worth, like the value of it, we might even be able to get like a first next year and a second this year or something. I would be looking though. I mean, you're kind of in the middle of that first round. You're still going to get a dog, but your first two options are going to start picking off the board real quick by then, by like 15.
So me, I'm more on the get a good player. We pretty much have when Kwesi does trade back, it seems to fail, horrific.
Mm-hmm.
When he does stick and pick so far, which has been Jordan Addison and Donovan Jackson, it seems that we get at least a halfway good player, right? I think Donovan Jackson is actually a great player. I think he's going to be really, really good. That was a layup pick, and it was the right pick. So I give Kwesi, his flowers for that. But, this year with 18, I think at 18, you should still be able to get a player that can come in and make an impact right away. See, Kwesi and them, they like to get too cute. So I fear the trading back thing. I just fear there's going to be too much thinking going on and not enough picking the right player, too much of that. And I don't want to go through his first draft, which was, the 2022 draft.
The Andrew Booth.
Yeah, the Andrew Booth, the Ed Ingram, that whole debacle. I don't want to go through that again, man. Listen, 18, get us a player, please. And we have a plethora of picks this year, which feels good as a Vikings fan, too.
True.
We actually got some capital to play with. When I signed into the mock draft simulator last night, I'm like, oh, wow, look at this. Because last year, we only had 4, so we're signing into the simulator. It's like, all right, what do we do here? And we're like, hitting all these trades to try to accumulate. I'm like, now we got a pocket full, man. Let's have fun. So it's, I stick and pick in my opinion, man.
And that's the thing is we got the draft capital and maybe some players that maybe move up to the mid-teens.
Yeah.
If one of like Cody says, one of our top 3 guys are still sitting around there, maybe we take a gamble and move up.
Yep.
But I like sticking where we're at. I'm definitely not for moving back.
I think the offer's got to be right, and I guess that's what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
Are you entertaining the offer if somebody's trying to move up to get their guy at 18? I don't know who they're reaching for in that middle, right? But if somebody's at 21, got somebody, and they're willing to give you, probably not next year's first, but maybe a second. An extra second round pick, because you have so many holes on the team that getting another day 2 pick kind of fits in. Maybe you're able to squeeze them for a second and a 6th, right? And stack up where you can maybe leverage a couple of these 6 and 7s to move into a 5, on your day 3 picks, because you need guys that are going to play. Right. Yeah. And you're really only getting those in that first and second round. And are you really going to lose that much if, say, your guys that you really wanted are already gone? If you move from 18 to, say, a 2021, not going all the way back to the bottom of the draft. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Prince, man.
Man. Yeah, well, Prince is we got his song. We got the Purple and Gold anthem.
I was just about to ask you that, because you talked about music, and I was like, do you got Prince's song? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So connected with Prince through Pat Boom. So I got some of my content over on Boom's TV, and we started connecting. He sent me the song, and I was like, bro, can I use that as the freaking theme song?
Yeah. He performed it at my event at Skol Fest. So,
right.
on stage and stuff, man. Shout out Chris, man. That's a good dude right there, and talented, man. You gotta, did he send you his Justin Jefferson song? Did you
not yet. No, that's gonna be a finish.
Prince, man. What you doing, Prince? You gotta send the catalog, Bubba. Oh, man. No, Prince, he like that, man. So shout out to him for sure.
Awesome stuff, man. Yeah, we're going to have a lot more draft coverage coming on. We kind of been letting the season kind of play out as it was, but I know Cody loves it. As a former GM himself and someone who has his eyes on another GM job in the future, I'm sure getting his takes on everything have been really cool. Somebody who's actually done the job, albeit, a different level of ball. It's the same thing, putting together a squad is not the easiest thing in the world to do, and beyond talent, you got personalities too. Now I know the charges have been dropped against Jordan Addison for this most recent trespass, but what's your take on Addison and having someone like that on a team, especially one that's going to be going through a transition of leadership over this year, losing, Harrison and CJ?
Yeah. I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he'll ever be one. To me, I mean, people are who they are. He showed who he is. I mean, I know 100 people like him, man, in my inner city, right? Like, they just, trouble will find them. And to me, I love him as a player. I think our team is better with a Jordan Addison out there. I just want to make that clear. Like, I believe keeping Jordan Addison, you're going to benefit from having a wide receiver like that. But I also, on the other hand, I don't believe you can allow somebody to keep getting away with that crap, man. It's because it's nonsense, bro. Like, dog, like, come on, man. Like, some of the things is just like, you just can't make it up, and it's like, man, when are you going to learn, and it sends a message to the players coming up under him, like the Ty Feltons of the world. And I know everybody's personality is different, but you will have certain players that might be like, oh, damn, you can get away with that. You can do this, that, and the third. And the main thing for me is, as a fan, I'm invested in the Vikings, like emotionally invested. I really love our team. So, like, on Sundays, when we start a season out 3 games without being able to see number 3 out there playing, I take it personal as a fan. And it's not because he's injured. It's because of a mistake a boneheaded mistake that he made. It's like, bro. And then right after that, we go to London and you miss the team practice, bro. The team meeting, like, come on, bro. Dude. To me, I think you should trade him. It may sting a little bit, but he's replaceable. This is his.
Yeah. Well, and we talked a lot about, if he's in for one of those 3 games, you probably win one of them and you're in the playoffs. So, I mean,
thank you.
You want to talk about the KOC, accountability in there. Jordan Addison's got to take some accountability too and you know, a little mea culpa goes a long ways. And I don't feel like he's really got that either. I don't see him really coming out and being like, you know, I'm making poor decisions and taking accountability for those things. Kind of just takes it on the chin and then goes and screws up again.
Yeah. Nah,
as somebody who screwed up a lot in his life, right?
He is who he is, man. You know, like
Right.
us as fans are going to have to deal with it. If you want him to stay on the team, you got to be expecting him to miss a couple games a season probably because he's going to do something. And
Well,
KOC and them, same thing.
Rap, do you think maybe giving the number to number 84 there to maybe try to put him under his wing would help, or Chris Carter, or you just think he's in it set?
I think I to believe it or not, I believe Chris Carter and Moss, you know, they're obviously around the building when they need to be. And, you know, I believe they talk to him. I'm sure there's a relationship there. You know, when you're dealing with somebody like he just doesn't care, man. He don't care who's talking.
He ain't
to him.
listening. He ain't
Yeah,
listening.
like it doesn't matter who's talking to him. He is who he is, and he's like, man, I'm not trying to hear none of that. Like while Chris Carter and them are talking to him, he's probably paying attention, looking him in the eye. Yes, sir. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do need to tighten up. You're right. And then he'll just go out and do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, his locker was right next door to Justin Jefferson, right? He's right next to this guy who couldn't be more of a class act and a leader and someone that, you know, these young players can look up to. And to me, I think he's just a cancer to the team. You find out what you can get for him over the off season and take what you can get and just be rid of it, because it's only a matter of time. Like he is a ticking time bomb at this point. Shout out to Jackson Bilkis. I love Donovan Jackson, and I just want to see more content of his mom in the field. I don't know if you guys caught any of the
pancake
pulling out the syrup when he was pancaking guys out there.
Nice. No, I didn't see that.
It was so cool. I want to meet her. Like, my goal for next season or even this off season is to get Miss Jackson on the show. Mrs. Jackson, if you are listening on Rap's channel, please, I will send you the link. We would love to talk good things about your boy and talk ball with you.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be fun.
That's what it's all about, man. Is just having fun. And you could tell, I mean, there's a reason the moms get shouted out, right? They're usually the ones that are taking these boys to their practice. I mean, when they make it, they made it, right? Like, how gratifying that must be as a mom, watching your boy play at the highest level and then watching some kick some ass out there on the football field, man. That's got to feel almost as good, probably better, because you ain't having to get your ass kicked while you're out there either. You could just sit back, enjoy the highs, and not have to deal with the lows and the injuries.
Nah, absolutely, man. I see people are talking about Hawkinson. I'm curious how y'all feel. I mean, I've been on the trade Hawkinson train. I'm gonna just throw that out there now. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about that. I just think he's replaceable. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I feel the same. I think he had some bright spots, but it wasn't what I was expecting. He got way hyped up, and I didn't do anything for me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I think his best game was the first or second game we got him from Detroit. I think was his best game.
Or maybe that New York Giants game. I think I remember that 2-touchdown game. I think it was that.
Yeah, so he's definitely replaceable. Yeah. Wouldn't mind him if we can restructure the contract, I think, like Bubba stated, but we definitely would have to find a solid replacement for him.
Yeah, when I look at the young tight ends around the league, man, we got to catch up. Like, for real.
Yeah.
We're behind,
especially with the year that Colston Loveland had this year, coming out of Michigan, playing obviously for the NFC North rival Bears. And, Hawkinson ain't that. He ain't never been that. No. I feel like the Vikings kind of maybe got fleeced a little bit with that trade in the first place, kind of talked themselves into it when they didn't necessarily need to.
Well, maybe we go reach out to the Raiders to see if Myers is available, since they got Bowers this year. So,
Shout out to Andre. Got the hottest takes in the chat by far. B-Flow gonna sabotage KOC for the head coach job. That's wild. I don't think
Andre, we put money on that one or what?
So and I feel like B-Flow, obviously the Wilfs wouldn't tell him something like this right now, but maybe thinking like, hey, you know, your best opportunity, believe it or not, to be a head coach is right here in Minnesota. Yeah,
Yep,
you
by
might want to sign that extension, Bubba.
Yep.
Hey, look, the way we're looking right now, we have a coach that gets glorified in KOC, where you know everybody talks about he's the whisperer, he's the greatest offensive mind ever, and I'm like, where, bruh? Because like, yes, has he done some good things? Absolutely, but the consistency isn't there. Then he's going on his 5th season and hasn't won a playoff game yet.
Yeah.
So like to
You're
me,
right.
it's like, yo, and every other coach in the NFC now, he's left out of the party now. Every other coach has playoff wins, including the brand new one and Ben Johnson. So
Yeah.
there's no excuse, bro. Like you, and then you got Mike. You know, looking at the Vrabels of the world, looking at the McDonald's of the world in Seattle. These guys are turning franchises around in 1 or 2 years.
Yep.
Vrabel 1 year to be specific, and they're in the Super Bowl. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear it, man. Like KOC got to give up play calling, man. Yeah, he got to go. And I'm not saying that B-Flow is going to step in and save us, but at the end of the day, like it's going to be a point in time where, hey, KOC, you got to go. So now it's the next man's opportunity, and I think B-Flow deserves that. So I'm here for it.
What I like about KOC is I feel like he's a good culture builder. I think what's getting his ass in trouble is his play calling.
He can
And
talk good.
It's his offensive play calling that really gets him into hot water with me, where it's like as a culture builder, head coach, I think like clock managing, like little detail things in there he's really good at, but he can't get out of his own way wanting to play Madden with the quarterback. That is not, and he wasn't that. That's what's crazy is that like he wasn't that quarterback physically, and now he's going out there and expecting all these other guys that aren't, you know, the upper echelon, the Matt Staffords of the world that can see the field, make all the right decisions, and have the cannon of an arm, and then like expecting it to like he's playing Madden. And that's why you end up throwing the ball 50 times a game. Like you've proven over 5 years, you're going to throw the ball more than anybody in the league. And to me, how do you even entice a top tier running back to come to a team where they know they're not going to get the ball?
Thank you.
You're not.
Thank you. That's why I said, like the Jeremiah Love thing. Trust me, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. But the truth is, Vikings fans, I tried to tell y'all to, you know, just settle down a little bit, because if we get Love, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad that that KOC is gonna go to Miami this year, like he does every year. He's gonna do his interview at the owners' meetings, and he's gonna tell us that he's gonna go back to running the ball, and we're gonna get back to old school football. He's gonna do it. He did it 2 years in a row. Told us, lied to us, right in our face, straight up told us that's what he was gonna do. And then the season's gonna start, and Jeremiah Love is going to get 3-4 carries a game. They're like, that's what it's gonna be, and now we're gonna be pissed. So I just don't. I don't think we're gonna do it. You know, as much as I would want them.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, people brought up that, you know, how is he the quarterback whisperer when the guys that he's improved are veteran quarterbacks that have been in the league forever, you know, and he hasn't done nothing with the younger guys, you know, JJ this year, Hall last year. So, I mean, you know, we can't really crown him the whisperer if he's done it with the veterans. I mean,
exactly.
Facts.
See, I want to address this comment real quick while I got it up here. And is he better than Naylor? Because his season looked like shit. 9 drops. Like he dropped a bunch of touchdowns. You know, speaking of Addison, like
No way. No
you
way.
know what I mean? Did he have that one awesome touchdown run on Christmas Day? Right, that end around.
As the question is he? Are they saying is Addison better than Naylor?
Right. So will they pay Naylor and try to draft Addison's replacement? And he's saying that, you know, he's still a better player than Naylor, but he didn't play better than Naylor last season. To me, and it's like, what have you done for me lately, bro? What are you doing on the off season? Why can't you stay out of trouble? Are you as committed to being that? Or are you riding that 40 time from 3 years ago and the fact that you were a first round pick and you're just going to ride that out? Are you putting in the work in the off season and during the season to be the best player out there? Because what I saw this last year would go to the contrary and say that, no, you aren't doing the things, because you dropped at least 3 touchdowns. You dropped 3 touchdown balls this year, that those 3 touchdowns and those yards completely change the narrative around your young quarterback as well.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
and keep in mind. Go ahead, Cody. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, you see all these athletes showing off their training videos in the off season with other players. Not once have you seen anything about Addison. He doesn't care. He
Yeah.
honestly doesn't care. I don't care if his play is even a little bit better than Naylor's. The off the field stuff's got to go. It's got to go.
Wasn't Addison working with McCarthy all
He
offseason?
was he worked out with him a little bit last offseason.
Okay.
Yeah, he did, but it was getting closer to the season too, though.
Yeah.
You know, it was getting closer. It was almost when everybody was working out. You know,
Yeah,
It was almost like
just because you start a week or two ahead of time.
Yeah.
No, like.
Yeah, and you know when I always talk about the Naylor and Addison situation as far as, you know, what should we do? Should we try to keep both? Should we keep one or whatever? I always look at too is our young quarterback has the best chemistry with Jalen Naylor, in my opinion. Like, so I mean that holds a lot of weight. So I think they should consider that when they're making this decision, if they do make this decision. And there's some desperate teams out there that feel like they need a wide receiver to put them over the top. So with that being said, I mean,
Addison
the market
was built
is good.
to be a Raider. Come on now.
Yeah, Raider. I mean, the 49ers are desperate because I mean,
the Browns with their
don't
Pro
have a
Bowl
wide
quarterback
receiver.
now. I mean,
Thank you. The
Well, and I mean,
they got a Pro Bowler now. They need a wide receiver, bro.
Well, I feel like Naylor's just getting slept on. I mean, what was it last year? Or for at least the first 3-4 games, he was tied for league in touchdowns. Like,
Yeah. Nah,
he
does his
catches
thing.
them.
Yeah, he does his thing. I like
Randy Moss for head coach.
Randy Moss ain't never coached a day of football in his life, I don't think, unless he was coaching one of his kids' Pop Warner teams or something. Man just got done with cancer
But
treatments,
Phillip Rivers had a
healthy.
chance.
Which
Phillip Rivers
is
still playing.
ridiculous, man. I can't like
He's gonna start
I
somewhere.
can't believe they did that. That's ridiculous in my opinion. Whatever though.
Yeah. And Pop kind of answered my question. Somebody said trade Hawk, and Pop immediately said trade. No one's trading for him. No, I think if Hawk doesn't sign something that's seriously restructured, he may be a cap casualty. I think he'll get a job somewhere else. Somebody will take a flyer.
Yeah,
on
they're
him.
not going to trade for him.
No, nobody's giving up any draft capital for that. Skol T-Bell, thank you. Nice Jimi Hendrix photo there.
Yeah,
I like that. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
As a music guy, I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's this speaks to a lot of what the Vikings, there's a lot of holes to fill on this team, right? Like, and if you're trying to build this like championship culture, you can't have guys like Addison around in that taking up roster spots to not be available. And to me, Naylor is a guy that obviously put in the work. What was the knock on him in his rookie year where he had a ton of drops, right? All the speed in the world, but couldn't catch the ball. Well, it seems like he kind of worked his ass off on that in the offseason and kind of came out and proved that now this year. Probably made himself a nice little bundle of money. The shame would be for the Vikings to develop this talent and then not sign him, have him go somewhere else where he's the one going to a 49ers team that knows exactly what to do with someone with that amount of speed and goes and becomes another Pro Bowler, all pro on a different team that the Vikings have let go. The Nahshon Wright thing is damning of this team. The fact that man went out and did what he did in Chicago this year, and he was on this squad last year, that's not a good look when you have
who do you blame that on?
I mean, whose decision is it to say let him go, right? I don't know. I don't know who you put that blame on. Is that is that the head coach or the defensive coordinator that just can't find a spot for him? Or is it on the player? Maybe he wasn't the same player, last year on the practice squad and what he was showing and he went and worked his ass off this year to find a spot on a team and to be that player.
Or is it the scouts that tell us, hey, we got this guy in free agency that looks a lot better than this guy, so let's take a flyer on him, let that guy walk.
I think it's a mixture of both. I think it's the scout made a mistake. I think it's the player. Maybe the player, maybe he wasn't all in right away and needed that like reality check of, hey, you haven't made it yet. So, and he didn't make it on this team. And maybe when he got to the Bears, he was like, "Hey, this might be my last stop." Because you know, as a rookie, especially one that's on the practice squad or something, you only have a few stops before they're just done with you.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. He balled out too this year. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
Well, and last season, you had a very solid DB core, right? Like you had the Cam Bynums and everything, but then you like let everyone walk, and we're like, oh, we're gonna sign Jeff Okudah. Like, what the fuck?
Which I was on the Jeff Okudah. I was thinking he would be all right, man. I don't know what's up with that guy, man. Holy man.
He wasn't even on the field most
man,
of the
when you
season.
watch his college career, man, you're like, yo, how are you not good, bro? Like you were so dominant.
That's why it was picked so high.
Yes. I mean, that has to be studied, man.
That's why it comes down to, you get drafted into the pros, but are you going to the team that fits your style? You know, I mean, that's why I hate when the experts are like, oh, this is the guys that can't miss player. And it's just like, yeah, well, he's going to the Raiders who have, 50 million holes to fill. How good is he going to be?
But see, I also feel like as a corner, though, like if you're good, you're good. It don't matter what team you go to as a DB, in my opinion.
I think you're looking at somebody. I think you're looking at somebody kind of what I was talking about with Addison. That's riding that has that big head. Oh, as a first round pick, I don't need to put in the work. Not realizing that there are 1,000 guys behind you that want your spot. You got to be the hungriest dog, whether you got picked first or last, or you went undrafted. You got to be hungry in this league because NFL stands for not for long, right? And your ass could be on the sidelines real quick. Napster, to answer your question, you can't blame that on QB play. Hawk just the injury set him back. He's aging. He's lost the speed. He's never been the biggest guy where he's helping in the blocking game. He just, I don't want to say that he didn't deserve the contract when he got it, but the injury. The injury killed him.
Yeah.
I don't think he deserved that contract.
I don't think he deserved it neither. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the TJ Hawkinson got to go, man.
I think I did no doubt. Like he is cap casualty number 1 on this team. Moves like but he's like half the size, right? So he can't help you in the blocking game either.
Kyle Rudolph, though, I mean, he was the coaching staff and players, he was another offensive lineman. He wasn't a tight end. He was an offensive lineman.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hawk can't block nobody either.
Yeah.
Rudolph
can block.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's there's so many questions on this team right now. Talking about the draft, and you got no money in free agency right now, and it's like, man, maybe Andre's right. Everybody, just fire everybody, blow it up, move the team south. I don't know where they just built $1 billion stadium, Andre. I know you mentioned movement, but I don't think the team's going anywhere, buddy. And I'm going to rely on Cody. Like we need a young tight end. I couldn't agree more with Barber here. We got to get younger across the board, right? At all these positions. And, I think there was some talk about offensive line and wanting to build through there. I think if you can get you need a solid center. You're probably not drafting that. You're probably end up, finding someone scrap heap that can be serviceable probably. But you're feeling pretty good about the left side of this line if you get a healthy Darisaw back, right? I think I like Jackson. We kind of touched on it earlier. I think Jackson's going to be a hell of a lineman in this league for a long time. But you can't spend a bunch of you don't have the draft capital necessarily to get top flight offensive linemen in that. So, and you don't have the money to go sign one either. So you're kind of like going to have to put it together. Offensive line talk. Chris Cooper lost his job over the last week as well. Rap, what do you think about that? Do you think Cooper's the blame for the offensive line woes, or you think he's just a scapegoat?
I think he's the blame. To be honest with you, I'm gonna say he's the blame because we have evidence he's the blame because you have Garrett Bradbury who looks amazing now. You have Ed Ingram who looks amazing. You had Ezra Cleveland who looked really good. These are guys that played under Chris Cooper, and in the moment they leave, they look good. So like, yeah, and I'm sure there's other factors that play a part in that. But like for I mean, you got to go, Chris Cooper. We've been calling for his head. We've been calling for his head, man. He got to get up out of there. That was a great move. That was a great move. Now, one thing I have an issue with is the Vikings sitting on their hands right now and not really making moves. I mean, you let the guy go to the Baltimore Ravens. Who's that? Ledford. You let the Baltimore Ravens swoop in and get him. Like, are you actively going after his replacement? Like that's the issue. I feel like, and I've been feeling like this since Kwesi and them have hit the building. I just feel like they take their time with everything, man. Like they almost take their time with too many things. Like they wait to the last minute to bring in the veteran quarterback last year. They wait to the last minute to fire Ed Donatel the first year after they realized the defense wasn't working. That was a fire that should have happened like week 5. You know what I mean? Like for real. And that's why we got smashed in the playoffs. We could have won that game if we had a different defensive coordinator. But I just think they need to start making moves, man. Quit waiting, quit dragging your feet. Like make moves. You're letting everybody get signed. What are we doing? You know what I mean? So
that's the thing is that you got no money to sign anybody. You're $50 million over the cap. Like you got to.
I'm talking about coaches. I'm talking more about coaches.
Well,
yeah.
They got the big one done at least. Like you couldn't do anything until you figured out your B-flow situation.
For sure.
You literally couldn't move. You're stuck. But yeah, you better get your ass in gear and get moving and solve some of these problems. I don't even know who they got eyes on. I don't know that anything's kind of leaked out about people they're talking to in those realms at all. I don't really, I don't follow the coordinator games or a lot of these underling coaches enough to know. I kind of rely heavily on Cody and B for the real in-depth knowledge.
There you go.
I'm just here.
I have the list right here. So Dwayne Ledford, which he's already off the table now. So now it's Frank Smith, Keith Carter, and Pat Mayer are the names, according to Alec Lewis, by the way. He's an insider. So according to him, that's the names right there that we can keep an eye out for. So,
meat sauce for head coach.
So we'll see.
Sauce for head coach.
Actually, I would, listen to Meat Sauce Talk Draft. I wouldn't mind him being in the, scouting department and, breaking down these players. I think he would be good at that part.
Yeah. Shout out Norris Fierce in the building. I see you, Norris, man. Norris said Eli Hindrich, Heidrich, however you say it. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, Andre,
Andre be going in, man.
Yeah, man. Andre's getting a link next week, brother. We're bringing you on the show.
You gotta bring Andre on the show. Yeah, for sure.
Is it Bob's Swede or is it Bob's weed? Trade Addy for a fully guaranteed popcorn fart. Might catch more passes. Just saying. Just like I've never had to do this much work on the chat sides. I appreciate you all tuning in, coming over to our channel. Make sure you give us a subscribe while you're here. Man, I appreciate you bringing your whole crew with you, man. This has been great. That wasn't my purpose for bringing you in tonight, but I sure do appreciate it. I just watched enough of you and your content to know that I liked your takes. I think you got a good a sound mind. A lot of these people out in Vikings fandom are absolutely fucking crazy. And not like in a funny way like Andre is. I hope he's serious about all these takes too, because I'm totally in for that. But a lot of people are just, the JJ talk this year really just blew my mind. With people that were so out on this kid playing, starting into like his 3rd game, and they're like, he's a bust. I was like, but you want Sam Darnold, who everybody labeled a bust 7 years ago, back on the team. Like, what are we talking about?
Or you want a Kirk Cousins, or you want a Danny Dimes, or you want Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there's all those talks this offseason.
Yeah, we just have to go through the process, man. Our fan base, we're impatient. And I guess for obvious reasons, because we haven't won a Super Bowl and we're trying to get there tomorrow. So it is what it is. And we expected, JJ, not me, but you had a group of fans, the ones that you're talking about, Bubba, is the ones that expected him to come in and be Tom Brady. They expect him to come in, and automatically throw 50 touchdowns and just
Michigan quarterback.
Yeah, it's like, bro, come on, man. Like, we got to be a little bit paid. Now, if it was just a straight disaster, I think what was worse with this season was the injury. Like with the people that make the argument of availability, you can't really say anything, right? Because availability is an issue. Like you got to be healthy, bro. And he didn't suffer from injuries in college, man. You know, I follow Michigan. So, like, I watched J.J. McCarthy's whole college career, and I wanted him. He was my number 2 quarterback that I wanted in that draft. So, like, I always had belief in him, but he does have to stay available. That's one thing for sure. I know injuries happen in the NFL, but, bro, they can't happen anymore, bro. Like, you gotta be out there. I expect him to play all 17 games next season. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and that's something, too, that I brought up on our last show is, you know, with the way the Bears with Caleb Williams, you know, struggled last year and, you know, finally got in the groove. There's some light there that, you know, if we just be patient, you know, good things can come. So,
yeah.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. 2 years ago, a few years ago, like, I would never picture us saying, like, dang, I wish we had Daniel Jones back. As Sam Darnold, but damn, miss some guys.
Yeah, I know, man. You got, you know, Daniel Jones actually would have been interesting to keep on the roster, honestly. Like, that I wouldn't have been mad at that, keeping him on the roster. But, you know, I'm JJ McCarthy. I'm riding for JJ. Now, obviously, I know you fellas know there's a ton of talks now, obviously, for making the big swing, which is the Joe Burrows or the Lamar Jackson or whatever. And every year it's like that. Now I'm seeing Justin Herbert, and I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, we just gonna be going down this road. But again, when you're talking about players like that, you having a different conversation because you're talking about players that can possibly come in and maybe get you there, you know. But I'm still with JJ McCarthy, man. I'm riding, man. Let's go through the journey. Why not? What are we in a rush for? We already made it this far, you know. What are we in a rush?
No, and this team's year was last season, right? Like you had that first pick, like it was kind of ride or die because you could see the aging of the team kind of having an effect already, right? And I wasn't in on like I figured this team would get to around where it did, 9-10 wins. Maybe you sneak into the playoffs, maybe you're able to make some magic happen, but I don't feel like this team is off base. And now it's Super Bowl by 2029 or everybody's getting fired, right? Like you put B-Flow on this track with KOC in there. Hey, Jackson, thanks for the super chat, man. Our first ever super chat on the channel.
Hey, let's go.
Man, shout out to Jackson.
Man, let's go, man.
Shout out Hawk and draft the boy out of Oregon. Yeah, Kenyon Sadiq. There's talk, man. This is a huge draft. This is the biggest draft of Kwesi's career.
100%.
If he F's this up, he might get fired before the season starts.
Yeah.
He might not even need to put a team on the field. Just be able to look back and be like, nope, we're done with this dude. Clean house.
Yeah,
a lot of Sadiq fans. A lot of
Sadiq. Yeah, a lot of Sadiq fans, man. That's the dude that's like buff, isn't that? That's like the big that
motherfucker.
Like
he's a dog.
Yeah, like arms just busting out the shoulder pad. Like that's the dude. I know who y'all talking about. He's number 18, I believe. I gotta go do some more homework, man. I haven't even gotten to my draft
saying
yet.
Sadiq is overrated, and Norspius has chimed in with us before on the channel too. Subscribed early, and man, I'm gonna lean on Norspius. Norspius, you got any tidbits from us? You just watched the Shrine game, man. Drop in the chat, man. Anything?
Yeah, he dropped the name. He dropped the name. That name I was trying to say. Yeah, what was that name I was trying to say?
Heidenreich.
Heinrich. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's that man.
Heidenreich. Sorry, it's the German side of me coming out.
Oh, okay. There we go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is a fun time of the year, man, because everybody kind of has their players that they go and they look at and they pounding the table, you know, and they want us to draft. I usually pick 3 players. I try to keep it to 3 that I'm like, all right, these are my 3 wishes right here. Let's get at least one of these, you know. So it's fun. I love this time of the year. I know it's kind of heartbreaking that the season's over, but then it's also anticipation, what's gonna happen, this, that, and the third, man. There's a lot of NFL keeps it interesting, not just for the Minnesota Vikings, just the NFL in general, man. They always give us something to talk about, you know. So somebody's gonna come on and say some stupidish.
Well, that's Minnesota sports in general. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, we'll get some news. Don't worry. They'll keep us entertained.
Yeah. No, there's going to be a lot of movement, right? And I think, JJ's their guy, man. They're going to bring in somebody behind him because we obviously know that we're not rolling in with JJ and Max Brosmer, right? And what a joke the whole Seattle game. See all the hype on Brosmer leading up to that game, put that young man in such a bad spot. That's
I mean, it's safe to say that Max Brosmer should probably, honestly, like Max Brosmer probably shouldn't even be on the roster, to be honest. He should be a practice squad player. Like, I think
and he was, right? But you had no backup plan. Your Carson Wentz backup plan freaking lost his arm halfway through.
Well, this is the thing too, man. Game. Like, this is what I don't like about the Mac. Like, and I love the whole fact that he's, played in Minnesota, this, that, and the third, but then this goes back to Kwesi and KOC and how they operate. They're too nice. It's more about being the nice guy, being friendly. Oh, you played for the Gophers. Me and your coach have a relationship. I came to some of your practices. You know what? You're going to make the 53. Bro, he shouldn't have been on the 53, right? He is not an NFL quarterback at the moment. Can he get there? Maybe. But, like, there was no reason for Max Brosman to be going out on that field and playing football for the Minnesota Vikings this year, bro. It's obvious. And it goes back to, man, let's keep business, and let's keep your friendships outside of the business. We need to take this serious to actually be able to get over the hump. Take building this team serious, because a Max Brosmer move is a move where the league is laughing at you, and then you have the nerve to roll him out there. And you saw what you did. You killed him. You killed his confidence, bro. It's over with. He may never come back. You know what I mean?
It's tough to come back from the two. I mean,
and you almost did it. You almost
game.
Yeah, sorry, Bubba, to cut you out. You almost did it to JJ McCarthy, somebody who's a dog. Good thing he could overcome it because he's been in those situations before in big time games. But you almost did it to him as well. We're blessed that he's a DAGG, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing that pisses me off the most, and you brought it up, that Minnesota nice thing. Like, we take it too far. Drafting Brosmer, just because it was a good story, something to talk about.
No, we didn't draft him. We signed him. Undrafted. My bad. And then, just going back over the years that Brock Lesnar, bringing him on, that Moritz Böhringer or whatever, that wide receiver we took last 7th pick because he was a Vikings fan or something from overseas. Like, what are we doing here?
It's just like, yeah, man. Like, it's there's situations where you can buy into the story, and I'm for that. But this wasn't the one. All right, this one just made it was just like, man, it was just too obvious. And this was supposedly Kwesi's guy. I mean, you heard about Kwesi really believed in this dude, man. Kwesi need to stop believing in play, because every time Kwesi's name gets brought up behind a player, it goes down as one of the worst players to ever put on the jersey, damn near. We're talking about a Caleb Evans of the world. We're talking about Lewis Scenes of the world. Now we're talking about Max Brosman.
Man make the decisions. Somebody take the button away from him. Happy birthday, Jordan Addison. Great. So he'll be in the headlines tomorrow.
Hopefully he ain't out tonight, man. Shout out Class G, man. That's the broski.
Like you said, he ain't listening to nobody, right? The charges got dropped. He back in the club. Let's roll. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he makes it. Hopefully he makes it tonight.
I hope so, man.
Yeah,
Andre, yeah, I feel for you, man. I feel for you. You've seen some some in times, man. We get it. We get it.
That's what I like about when I'm going live, man. We have a ton of OGs. I call them OGs over there, man. Like Northfield of the world. We have a lot of our people that are in my age bracket too, in the 30s. But like, we have a ton of fans on my channel when we go live that been fans since the early 70s, and they're like, man, I'm sick of this shit, bro. Like, they just want, they want change. They kind of know what they want because they've seen a little bit of everything. And they're like, man, we got to do this, that, and the third. And those are the people I tend to listen to, man. So shout out to the OGs, man. I love OGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Napster, yeah, we understand. I mean, that's the one thing. For me, JJ has all those intangible things that you were looking for that Darnold doesn't have. He just can't stay on the field. And you're hoping that with the training staff that you have, maybe there's some things that he can do taking care of his body now with an NFL offseason, maybe with some of those NFL game checks, although you only get game checks if you're in the damn game, that he can take better care of his body and build himself up a little bit more, physically. The hand thing this year, that shit happens to NFL quarterbacks, but that's why you see a lot of guys when they're getting pressure are slinging it sidearm, are doing other things, right? So there's some things that he can do differently to protect himself. But to me, JJ brings so many of those intangibles. Being able to have a mobile quarterback, a guy that can run the ball, has a little bit of attitude, right? The gritty into the end zone in Dallas. I freaking loved it. I loved it. Right now, if he kicks that ball out of the end zone and shit, I don't love it. But you wanted that, right? You were asking for a little bit more than kind of plain Jane Sam Darnold, who's going to shit the bed. JJ, on the other hand, like only shows up when the game's in the big moments, right? Like he plays his best ball in those moments. So I mean, that's why I like McCarthy. And why you got to let this play out, man. Like you going and mortgaging the whole farm for Joe Burrow, who is just as injury prone as JJ McCarthy is, if not more so, albeit a much more proven commodity. Like but what are you going to give up? You can give up 3 first-round draft picks, maybe 2. Like, what is going to be the package that actually brings you Joe Burrow? It's a pipe dream to me, man.
But it also goes back to the coaching staff. We talking about firing Chris Cooper, firing this. I think they need to reevaluate our medical staff as well. And then Kevin O'Connell also lying to us right before that game. I will not put JJ McCarthy out there unless he's 100%. All right. So once again, KOC gets on there, lies to us in our face, forcing the issue. Same thing with Christian Darrisaw. Christian Darrisaw should have not have been out there. It just is what it is. You got to stop letting the players make decisions. You have to be a head coach at some point. You have to start dragging your nuts, man. Excuse my language, but somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. That's what you're here for. It goes back to the Carson Wentz thing too. It's like, bro, he shouldn't have been out there when you saw what was happening to him. Yet you come on after the game and say, well, Carson told me that he wanted to. I don't care what Carson told you. Like, you are the head coach. Carson, sometimes you have to save the players from themselves. So that's what it is, man.
No, Andrew, with that comment there, I've been saying that for a while.
Yeah,
keep Case, run it back. And who was in that draft that, we drafted, I forgot who it was, a defensive back 2 picks later or 2 picks before Lamar Jackson. You draft Lamar Jackson, you bring Case back, you had Teddy Bridgewater, you run it back, open competition. And, okay, if Case is the case, then we go with it. But then you got a Lamar Jackson, a young, guy back there if he's not the case. So I'm glad somebody finally said that. I've been saying
I've been on that train too.
I've been on that one. I've been on that one too. That was stupid. Just
so y'all know, man, I do not like Kirk Cousins. Didn't like him.
No.
Great guy, off the field role model type guy. You look at him and you say, you know what, I would love to meet him and just pick his brain.
You couldn't give him that money.
But on the field, man, no sir, man. My whole channel started behind Kirk Cousins.
That contract changed everybody's contract. Now everybody's looking for that fully guaranteed contract, and we're the ones to blame for that. So
that might, in my opinion, that might go down as one of the worst moves the Vikings ever did in my fandom. So so that was just one of the.
So you haven't been around for the Herschel Walker trade then?
I mean, I heard about the Herschel. I was a fan since '99, so
Okay.
it's but like I'm talking like I'm into it. I'm actually looking at Cap. I'm looking at these and that Cousins one pissed me off, man. Look at Class G, man. Shout out Class. Man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
let's go,
man. Yeah. I agree. Some attitude, that cockiness, clowning energy. He's gonna be more mature. He's gonna pick his spots a little bit better. But I even love when he was in the press conference after the Dallas game and they told me not to in practice, but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I don't care. Like, to me, as long as it doesn't cost the team on the field, I don't give a fuck what you do, man. Have at it, buddy. Because I think
that's
this
why
team is too nice. Like the whole Minnesota nice thing. Yeah, man, let's win some damn football games. Let's smack people around a little bit. And talking about the Minnesota nice thing, and we were touching on some of the things with them bringing in Minnesota guys. Rep, what are your feelings on Adam Thielen and his comments during the season about finding his love for the game again and now officially retiring? Do you want to see him come back and retire in purple? As someone who is an out-of-state fan.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I want to see him retire in purple. I love Adam Thielen, man. I think Adam Thielen, first of all, I think this year I'll die on the sword, right? I was advocating to bring Adam Thielen back this year because I had different vision for him. See, what happened was KOC sold him a pipe dream. That's what happened. They sold Adam Thielen and said, hey, we're going to use you here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then when the season started, guess what? Kevin O'Connell, once again, horrible play calling, sold him a pipe dream. And I'm going to tell you, Adam Thielen's going to come out eventually and tell the truth. I know he is. Because now that he ain't playing football anymore, he going to get on one of them podcasts and we're going to hear about it. And I can't wait to do the video about it. Because I know
he can come on this one. I cussed him out when he made the statements in Pitts before, going back
and you know what? I feel you on that. Like, you have reason, you have a right to say and feel how you want to feel about that. I like Adam Thielen as a player just because he was that underdog. I'm always going to root for the underdog. The way he had to come up and then becoming one of the better wide receivers in the NFL for a stretch of a couple years, coming from where he came from. I mean, you got to root for the kid, right? But again, this year right here could have been different if KOC would have stuck to his word and not lied to him. And that's why he wanted to get out, man. He's like, bro, you told me one thing, but then when the season started, you got me doing something else, man. You could just see the frustration from the beginning. I'm not saying Adam Thielen, and when I was advocating for Thielen, I knew that he wasn't going to come back to being the 1,000-yard receiver and score. I knew that wasn't the case. My whole vision for Adam Thielen in 2025 was, hey, third down, because he has sure hands. He can be, and he's good with spacing. When you needed him on third down and crucial downs, Adam Thielen is somebody you want to look at because Justin Jefferson's going to be pulling people. Jordan Addison will be pulling people. Hey, Adam Thielen can make that catch. He can make that catch, right? So that's what I was looking forward to, and obviously it didn't happen. He was on the sideline half the time. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, and I think the drop off in his skills, obviously the speed wasn't there. He wasn't. Yeah. I mean, this game catches up to you fast, man. There are guys that are 10 years younger than you, fresh out of college without all the bumps and bruises along the way. And without families at home too, we like to think that these guys can show up and do a job, but that stuff matters, right? And that's what I said with, the young JJ McCarthy got married, had a baby this season, like there are a lot of things going on in this young man's personal life as well off the field that are going to have an effect on you. Should it when you're making the kind of money that they are? No, but it's going to. They're human beings, man. Like those things, that baby keeping you up all night, because you haven't got that big check yet, right? Like you can't afford to pay the midwife to stay in house with you and to have all the amenities that somebody that's making tens of millions of dollars a year as an NFL quarterback could have, right? So there's a lot going on. I'm not using that to, scapegoat the kid out, but I thought JJ showed us a lot towards the end of the season, and he showed you enough to say that, he deserves a shot to still be the starting quarterback. Now, do you need to bring in somebody that can push him to be the best version of himself? Undoubtedly, because that's not Max Brosmer, right? And that sure as hell wasn't Carson Wentz either. So I think they kind of, I think the Daniel Jones leaving, I think they thought they had him in the bag, bringing him in at the end of the season last year. Like, this is going to be our guy. And then that Colts come knocking, and obviously he was justified to say, hey man, I'm going to have a better chance to start over there beating that guy out than beating JJ out for a job. And honestly, he was right. I mean, Daniel Jones was justified in making the move that he did. I mean, his career might be done before it even really gets momentum, man. Like, that Achilles injury is not an easy one to come back from. You're probably never going to be the same guy either. So I don't know that he's done enough in his career and kind of just getting started here to prove that he's going to come back and be a starter in the league again. Maybe a serviceable backup, but I don't think he's someone that's challenging JJ for that starting job or pushing him in the way that you want to.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure, man. Shout out Jackson, man. Skol from Idaho.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Skol,
man.
Idaho.
Ida Skol.
Skol. There you
Ida
go.
Skol. I like it. He's getting that tattoo. Jackson, we're gonna give you your super chat money back, and you got to get Ida Skol
There you
tattooed
go.
on you.
Yeah,
I don't know
let's
if you
go,
haven't
man.
tattoos yet, but you're gonna have one now. I gotta get
Let's
the sound.
go.
Yeah, I gotta get the sound effects going, man. I gotta up my game. I'm still a little new to StreamYard.
Man, it's good, man. It's all gravy, man. Sure, just
Appreciate-
hit me up. I
appreciate
got you,
you,
man.
Wes.
I'll plug you
Yeah,
in with
man,
everything
I
you need.
appreciate
For
that.
sure. Yeah, man.
Street walking potato. I don't know what that means.
Hey, you know,
North
speaking of JJ, I think like towards, you know, when you were speaking about it towards the end of the season, I think it was evident to see that he was getting used to the speed of the game.
Yep.
I think that's really what we were waiting for. We were waiting for him to catch up, and he finally did. And that's what we saw at the end of the season. So like I expect this 2026 season, I mean, I expect him to come in hitting the ground running and being able to know like, this is the speed. This is where we're at. I need to make these decisions like this. I can't hold on to the ball. If I see it, I gotta let it go.
Gotta rip it, man. I
gotta
can't
rip
count
it.
how many times early in the season where he'd get back there and it was just rip it. Like and I felt like he was seeing the field okay. He just wasn't making that decision fast enough, and those gaps closed real
You gotta
fast.
throw 'em open.
Guys don't stay open. When you see it, you just gotta throw it. And I felt like he was really starting to do that towards the end of the season. And that was the disappointing part about the injury last year, because you were hoping that behind Darnold, who was the starter, who you knew was going to be the starter, that he was going to have those practice reps and that learning. And not being on the field for a year is a really tough thing to come back from for any player. Regardless of quarterback or anywhere else on the field, it's a tough thing when you don't have the experience already stacked up to be able to come in missing that time and to hit the ground running like that. It just
And I think it's safe to say if JJ would have played all 17 games, we would have been a playoff team.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
Made the playoffs.
We win one more game for sure. You know, probably one of those early games, right? One of the overseas games that we didn't. The Steelers game, probably. I think you could see that one pulling out. And then you're in, right? And the Packers are out. Like you're this close. Or if Jordan Addison plays, or like so many things. KOC wants to fucking run the ball. You know, like there's so many little things during the 17 game season that could have gone slightly different. And the whole attitude of this season is changed.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, and then I'm wondering, you know, you had mentioned, you know, we know the wedding, we know the baby, everything just boom, 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 like right after another, trying to learn an NFL offense and then command it and run it smoothly. You know, there were a few times where we were wasting timeouts because the play call wasn't coming in, or there was something wrong with the play call. You know, all that going on, all that excitement, did that get in the way of him getting into that playbook and knowing the play calls? Was it, hey, KOC's in the mic, rattling off a play, and McCarthy's like, oh, shit, never heard this one before. Like, just because you made it doesn't mean you made it. You know, you still have work to do. You know, every bar you set and then you achieve, there's still going to be another one set. So I hope that he's reflects, you know, he's big on meditation. And so I hope that he reflects on this year, you know, harvest the good. It is what it is. Let go and let God. And, you know, comes back next year, you know, more focused, you know, takes everything and is more intentional about everything. Small details, everything.
Yeah. Any fan that's sitting back, you know, and this goes to the JJ hater specifically. Any JJ hater that's sitting back and saying, "Oh, we have no chance at all with JJ McCarthy in 2026," they know they're lying to themselves.
Right.
You know, like they know they just don't like JJ McCarthy. You know, and I know that feeling because I was like that with Kirk Cousins. So I understand totally, because Kirk Cousins would throw for 4,000 yards and all this, and I still felt no different. I was like, I don't care. Like, for real, I don't care what he does. If he don't win a Super Bowl, I don't want him. And unfortunately, there's fans like that across every fan base, and JJ McCarthy's no different. He's going to have those fans too. Until he wins a Super Bowl, you're going to have the haters that are going to talk about him and say he's not good enough. But it's about us, the ones that do believe, understanding the game, the game of football, which all you fellas on this panel understand the game of football. When you watch him, you could see the progression. You can see that there's something there. This isn't a bust situation, because we've seen multiple bust situations where you like, for example, Max Brosmer, like you watch that and you're like, okay, this is never going to happen. Right. You watch JJ McCarthy, you're like, okay, this is going to happen. It's just about when. So that's kind of where we're at. And 2026 could be that year, man. That's what I'm looking forward to.
No, 100%. I agree with everything you just said, man. Because, like, just the confidence in him, like, he's young. Yeah, he's really young, but he trots out there, and we're like, all right, let's go to work. We got this. But we've had multiple quarterbacks in the past, or, we find out who's starting, and we're like, shit, like, I can't do nothing about it. Joe Webb. Carson, Christian Ponder, Tavares Jackson, like, we were always iffy with them guys, always.
And the thing is, though, Cody, you named off all those guys, and every draft the Vikings panicked and drafted that guy. I mean, I remember, I think it was the Tavares Jackson pick where they asked Mel Kiper who this guy was, and he barely could say anything because he's just like, I didn't have him on my board at this high, so I wasn't really paying attention. So,
yeah, RIP to it. RIP to the brother, though, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I'm glad, man. Look, JJ's the right guy, period, man. Anybody who mad, man, be mad. You just gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? When he go out there in 2026 and get us them dubs, you be all right. For sure, you'll be all right. Hopefully the Vikings don't do nothing crazy, though. I know y'all talking about the Joe Burrow, don't mortgage, Bubba, you talking about don't mortgage the future. Hey, look, we gotta, with this front office, man, I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna sit back and wait, because they could do some rational stuff, man. I don't know. Could get that, because their job is on the line. One thing's for sure, time is not on their side. When they drafted JJ McCarthy, time was still on their side. They had grace. Time's not on their side anymore. They know that if they don't perform in this season, they know that it's over with. It's a wrap.
3 years.
Right? It's over with. It's done. Like they're out of here. So with that being said, it'd be easy for them to convince the Wilfs or whoever else they need to convince and say, hey guys, we have to go for this type of player. Like, these type of players we're going to hear this whole spill of these type of players just don't become available. We're in a situation where we have a player of his stature that's available. We have to swing for the fences. Like, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if the speech happens. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, the speech has happened, but I mean, you can't. I mean, okay, we get Joe Burrow. I've seen a lot of reports that JJ is part of the deal, first round picks. Yeah. Now we're back in the boat again where, okay, who's our backup? Who's our franchise quarterback? Because Burrow is injury prone. How many years is he going to play? And is he the answer? I mean, if we could get said guy for cheap and still keep JJ, I'd be open to it. Yeah. But I don't want to kill JJ's confidence either with the with the guy. Which would. Yeah. So I'm all for keeping JJ for one more year and to see what it goes. Yeah. And people are throwing out the comments, let's see what happens. But again, one play. I mean, somebody brought it up earlier, the Chicago Bears game, that second one. Yeah. If we would have stopped that kick return, we were probably in the playoffs. And the Vikings were that scary team that nobody wanted to play because they were finding their stride and beating the teams that they should have been beating, but they're beating them pretty good. So
exactly.
Yeah, that one play, could have been something else. So
we were, like Bubba said earlier in the show, we were actually where everybody expected us to be, honestly. Like, that's why I get the frustration of not making the playoffs, because obviously going into every season, we always playoffs, 10 wins and things like that. But in reality, we were where we were expected to be, 9 to 10 wins. And that's what we did. You know what I mean? We missed the playoffs. And yes, that's unfortunate. But again, a couple plays. I mean, that Bears game, like you said, that one stands out the most because AJ McCarthy was struggling during that game. He couldn't really find
and the defense was bottling them up, right?
Like, but then when it mattered, he drove down.
Pin them back, and they got to go, 40, 50 yards, and then they literally return the kick into field goal range. And you're like, what happened?
Yeah, Vikings, man. The Vikings way. It's just the Vikings way. It just is what it is. That's just what that was. But it's I look forward to this season. I look forward to touching base with you guys again throughout this off season too, and doing this some more and really talking about some Minnesota Vikings football, man. This was great. I want to get you guys over on my channel as well. We could do one at a time all together if y'all a package deal, however we want to do it. I know we streamed it on my channel tonight, but we'll set up a specific one, man, and go party for sure.
Yeah, man. I know we're down for any of that. Coach Cody's a great get. B and I both snipe him for our own shows.
Let's go.
Already. So just having someone with as much ball experience as he has as a player, as a coach, as a GM, totally invaluable, man. And I think he's kind of our ace in the hole with this network, but also being open to having everybody on. Like, I'm trying to get Norsevius and Nick, who I think is Pop Punk Skol. I don't know, man. I want to get them on for our draft coverage stuff, right? They got some great names they're throwing around. I don't have time, man. I'm running 13 shows. I got 4 networks. Like, I'm a podcaster. I like Vikings football, but it's my job to produce this thing and get it out there. I leave the ball really to Cody. Big B's kind of the stat guy. I don't have a clue what's going on half the time. I'm just trying to keep the train on the tracks, Rap.
Nice. Well, you're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job at it, for sure.
Man,
you're doing a great job at
your
it.
fans got the chat popping. I love this, the engagement and being able to bring people in. And that's what it's about, man. Kind of turning this into, like a bar room would be for all of us Vikings fans scattered across the U.S. and internationally, I know as well. This show's a little late for our European Vikings fans, but if they're staying up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning to hang out with us, man, more power to them. So a lot more draft coverage coming from us, man. We'd love to have you back in the future. I know any of us individually or together would love to come on your channel and talk some more ball, man.
For sure. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be reaching out, man. I got to get out here tonight, but hey, I had a great time. This was amazing. So I appreciate you fellas, and we'll definitely get together, man. We'll get together.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, you all know that's Rap Vocal Vike joining us tonight. Special guesting with us.
Let's go.
We appreciate you, man. Appreciate you bringing in all your fans with you too.
Yes,
and Rap, have a great night, man. We'll be in touch, brother.
Yes, sir. All right.
That was awesome. No, that was great. I mean, they got a good following there. Definitely can't wait to get on more shows with him on his show, on here. Some of the comments, I mean, are just dead on. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a good off season for us to get prepared for next season.
Yeah. Oh, nice. He left the stream open too for us, so we still get to talk to some of his fans. You guys make sure you throw us a subscribe. Norsevius. I put my email into the chat here. I'll throw it up on the screen again too. I'd love to hear from you, man. Would love to hear from you guys. Would love to bring you onto the show, talk some ball with you, and talk about this draft coming up. We got a lot of holes to fill on this team. I know we've talked about it extensively, but there's a lot that is going to a lot that's going to happen this year that shapes the next 3 years of this team. So I would say by far the most important off season of the Kwesi O'Connell era, because this team was kind of put together a little bit to win before they got here, right? That's why you had the double-digit winning seasons that they had kind of first starting out. So, I'm going to post my email up in there. You guys just shoot me an email real quick, and I'll make sure that we connect. And, then we can get you a link.
Well, Bubba, I mean, you're right that, this upcoming year, is going to be, building for the next 3 years, because if it falls apart again, we've already talked about it. You're going to fire KOC, you're going to fire, the GM, and you're going to be starting over. So we need to have a good year for us to show that, 3-4 years, are there. But if we have another bad year, then we're going to be talking about,
we're going to be talking about head coach Brian Flores leading the Vikings in 2027, 28.
Facts. Exactly. Real quick.
I think, that's no joke there. Appreciate y'all subscribing to the channel, man. You guys have been a blast tonight. I do want to shout out a sponsor that we have on our show and to run it out here before we let everybody go. But shout out to Pillars of Valor Coffee. Y'all, if you're coffee drinkers, check out pillarsofvalor.com. They support veteran causes, not just in Minnesota, but around the whole country. You see Operation Combating Veteran Suicide behind me. We care so much about our veteran community and getting that out there. And so support them, support the show by supporting our sponsors as well. I will probably play out the show with a little video. Shout out to them as well. Anything we didn't touch on you guys want to talk about before we let everybody go tonight?
God, what did we touch on? I mean,
there's so much happening.
There's a lot we didn't. I mean, I don't think there's anything we really didn't touch on. We talked a lot of, football coming up. I mean, we really didn't talk about the matchup for the Super Bowl. I mean, we got a week to talk about that, but
correct, right.
Overall,
we'll do picks on the Super Bowl and everything on our show next Tuesday, obviously kind of leading up into the game. I would expect a few coach signings, I think, through the rest of this week. Which is kind of the tragedy about doing a show on Tuesday, is that so much of the news ends up happening Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the league. But it gives us plenty to talk about next week, and no football this weekend. That's weird. This pause in between, right, is so strange, because you've had 20 weeks in a row, 22 weeks in a row of football, including
the college football and
right.
the senior game. But Rap touched on something that was, I didn't really think of. The Vikings haven't done nothing. I mean, it's early, but you've seen teams pick a player here or pick a coach here. We let a couple coaches walk, but I hope the Vikings start looking at the free agencies and be like, hey, can we bring this guy in? Who do we cut? I mean, we're going to have to make cuts before we start signing people, but we definitely have to be more noise.
I don't know if there's a date that they're waiting for to do that. Cause for me, there's a couple of guys that you could already there's a couple that are tough, conversations to have, but you could have had them already and start cleaning up your books so that you can move forward. Like somebody pointed out earlier, this team just drags their feet, and then you end up with the hand-me-downs because you're not out there in the front getting the job done. So get off the pot, man, and get some things done. You know that. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about a restructure with Hawk. I think you just got to let a sleeping dog, just let it go and get younger and fix that position. I don't think there's any reason to keep him around. I don't think he's going to be effective for you next season, which sucks. The Hawk is part owner of Pillars of Valor, so I hate to kind of talk shit, but, on one of our sponsors, you know what I mean? But business is business, right? We just, it is what it is, man. I know he just had a baby. He's made plenty of money, right? He's made the money. He's going to get a nice payout. Even if they cut him, he's still getting paid, right? It just comes off the books. He still gets a nice little check in that, right? There's a severance package to these.
And that's what the Joker's pointing out, is we need depth, and maybe that's what we look for outside the first overall or our first pick is, picks 2 through whatever, maybe we're drafting for depth,
Frozen North, Rap just had to dip out, man. He's on the East Coast time. It's 11 o'clock out there. We're still on his channel. We're just getting ready to say goodbye, though. Kind of wrapping up our loose ends. But shout out to Rap for joining us tonight. It was really awesome of him to get there.
Absolutely.
Norspheus, Eli Heidenreich. Okay. Middle class Christian McCaffrey. Okay. We'll take that. We'll take that.
But yeah, no, with the Vikings coaching openings and them dragging their feet, I think they had to wait. We mentioned this earlier, but they had to wait. Number one priority was going to be B-Flow, and now that you got him for 3 years, now you see, okay, what kind of people do you want under you? You know what I'm saying? So I would expect a lot of dominoes to start falling here in the next week or two. A lot of teams that were still coaching for the playoffs, now their coaches are going to be available and stuff like that. So I really hope that we start to make some moves and just get a plan. One of the fans commented saying that we just always take our time on things. It's go time. Their time is ticking. 3 years, if not maybe 2, and then their decision is going to be made on if they want to continue or not, or just clean house. But so they got to get their ass in gear quick.
Yeah,
Bubba, what are the chances Cody's already put an application in for that opening DB job?
He better, man. I don't know how we're gonna get him the job, but that's what we're waiting for.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it, but I feel like it'd be a slap in the face if Harrison Smith didn't at least get something. Who
knows? I mean, who knows if he wants to, right? Maybe he wants to step away. I know he's got a young family, right? And and the coaching is just as taxing on your time as playing the game, and you're not getting the juice of being on the field. So maybe he wants a little time away from the game. Now it would be malpractice for the Vikings not to offer that to him. But maybe in more of a special assistant type role, or mentorship role with the team for a few years. Let him spend some time with his family. This man is dedicated over a decade to this team, and showing up, not just being a stand-up guy, but being a face of this franchise. So pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. Well, shout out to everybody joining us on the Raps channel. It's been a pleasure, man, getting to commandeer his channel, have all you guys in with us, get to introduce what we do to you all. We're just fans out here doing the same thing that they do, and trying to put out a product and get these takes out here. We can't get all of our, I still rely heavily on Purple Daily for the news side of it, but I don't always agree with them on everything either, right? And we should all have a place to be able to get our thoughts out, right? So really appreciate you all. Norsevius, Barber, Norsevius, Nick, y'all, man, I would love to have you on our draft coverage, get you on the show with us too. And we go every Tuesday at 8 p.m. On our SPSN YouTube channel here. So through my email out there for you guys, just shoot me an email. We can get in touch that way. And then I'll get you a link on Tuesdays. And if you want to tap in, man. We'd love to have you all. So with that, I appreciate you all. Thanks for subscribing over to our channel as well. I hope that we get a chance to return the favor to Rap and to come on and join him as co-host. Y'all kept me busy in the chat, man. I appreciate it. I had a great time tonight running the show and just kind of hanging out. My name is Bubba Starts. That's Coach Cody Hommedahl up there. He is former GM and coach of the St. Paul Bears, now coaching with the Wyoming Cavalry, assistant head coach and defensive coordinator. Big B is with the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. You can find them on YouTube as well. You guys still doing your show? You go all through the year, B?
Yeah, we're going to be doing our primetime blitz tomorrow, covering some local news with the PA announcer. Won't get too much into details with that, but we'll do our picks. We'll do the coaching moves. Who's should we be drafting? Should we move up? Should we move down? Stuff like that. We definitely will be going at least through the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and then we will do a special draft coverage of round 1 with Crispy Bacon and Tim Hendricks as they break down those picks as they happen.
Love it. And Norsevius, you were asking where we live, man. Cody and B are both in Cannon Falls, Minnesota, and I am down in rural South Dakota. just a little town in southeast South Dakota, man, about 5 hours outside of Minneapolis. So, yeah. Hey, my old buddy is Big B too. He just on the show. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate Rap letting us
awesome.
chime in on his channel and link in. It's been a blast getting to hang with y'all tonight. Glad you subscribed over to our channel. Check us out Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. live here on YouTube. Check out B's show Wednesday nights. You guys go at 10 o'clock, right, B?
Yeah, we go roughly about 10 o'clock. I mean, we do other shows too. So we got baseball show coming up, wrestling, so. But definitely, help us, check us out. We'll definitely, we love doing these collaborations with everybody. So, work it out.
Don't go anywhere after the stream ends. I got some baseball news I want to share with you. I had an interesting conversation today. So hang out for a few minutes after I end the stream. I know Garrettson, man. Yeah, that's probably about an hour and a half away from me. Elk Point. Hell yeah, buddy. You got it, Norse. Hey, look forward to connecting with you all. Norse, I hope you come and join us, talking some draft coverage. Maybe in a couple of weeks you can come back. Keep stacking them up, man, because I have no idea what's going on. I have no time to dedicate to looking up all these college players and figuring out where we're going to go. I just run the show, man. So
thanks for Cody.
All. Frozen, thank you, brother. We appreciate you all tapping in with us, man. This has been a blast here. Tonight, getting to rap with Rap is it's cool, man. What a cool dude, and some great takes. And his fans got some really great takes too. So that was awesome to communicate with some people that you're on the level with. We might disagree on some little things, but I think as far as like the direction of the team, I think we're kind of all in agreement on that. So, well, except Andre. Andre's off the rails, but we appreciate that too. Appreciate you, Joker. Thanks, y'all. We hope
thank you guys.
The Scene Project Sports Network, and we'll see you next week here for Vikings United every Tuesday, 8 p.m. live here on YouTube. Y'all be good to each other, man. We'll see you soon.
Have a good one.
As we cheer on our Minnesota Vikings, let's also recognize true heroes. Pillars of Valor Coffee isn't just about exceptional taste. It's a veteran-owned company with a powerful mission. With every purchase, you're directly contributing to programs that empower and support veterans and first responders. Imagine starting your day with a rich, bold coffee that also fuels a vital cause. Pillars of Valor Coffee is dedicated to making a tangible impact, honoring those who've served our nation and communities. Join them in their mission. Visit pillarsofvalor.com to learn more and get your bag today. Pillars of Valor Coffee. Great coffee, greater purpose.